in your 20s can feel like a lot of confusing mess of growth, setbacks, pressure, and freedom all at once. So if you're in your 20s or you're reflecting back on them, I hope this helps you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Oge. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always clicking on my videos whenever it pops up. So number one on 20 things I wish I knew sooner is that no one has it really figured out yet. Sometimes it might look like your peers are crushing it. They have the perfect jobs, they have the perfect relationships, or they're living in a cool apartment. But behind the scenes, most people are figuring things out day by day, just like you and me. Some people are just better at looking put together than others, but the truth is that figuring things out is actually a part of life. And if you're still figuring things out, it doesn't mean you're a failure. And sometimes you don't need a five-year plan. It's good to always have a target or a dream or an outline of things you hope to achieve, but sometimes things don't always work out that way. You just need to be courageous and keep moving forward one step at a time, even when things feel uncertain. Number two on 20 things I wish I knew sooner is that your career doesn't define your identity. Yeah, there was a time in my life where everything revolved around my career. I need to achieve this, I need to pass these exams, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it felt like my identity was wrapped around my career. But now, reflecting back on things, your career doesn't define your identity. What you do for work is just a piece of who you are. Your job title or your income doesn't necessarily determine your worth. In your 20s, there's a lot of pressure to make it or to climb some ladder, work ladder, academic ladder, whatsoever. But it's okay if your path in life is non-linear. Sometimes you might go through bumps, sometimes it might be very curvy or windy. It doesn't really matter. It is okay. Your value lies in your character, how you treat people, and how you show up in the world. Number three of 20 things I wish I knew sooner is that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. So your 20s can come with waves of solitude. Friends move away, relationships end, social cycles change. Learning to enjoy your own company is powerful, however. Learn to go to brunch by yourself. Learn to travel solo. Sit with your own thoughts. If you can be happy on your own, you can become unstoppable because your joy no longer depends on external validation. And this is something I wish I took more seriously in my 20s. Another thing I wish I knew sooner is that friendships evolve, and that is okay. Some friendships would fade. Some people you thought were going to be there forever will slowly disappear. This doesn't mean that things went wrong. It just means that life pulls us in different directions. Instead of mourning every change, try to appreciate it with what that friendship gave you while it lasted, and always make room for new and more aligned connections. Number 5 of 20 things I wish I knew sooner is that it's not too early to start to take care of your health. You won't always bounce back if you live an unhealthy lifestyle, like eating fast food or whatnot, or not eating fruits or vegetables. Trust me, your 30s will feel a lot better if you start caring for your health earlier. And if you form great habits in your 20s, it's easier to carry them on in your 30s when you have like a lot more responsibility. So small habits like taking daily walks, drinking water, taking care of your mental health can have a huge long-term impact. So take care of your body like it's the only one you've got, because actually it is. And number 6 would be financial literacy is more valuable than it sounds. I don't know why they don't teach us this in school. Like, being financially literate in today's world is so important, and I don't know why it's not emphasized in classrooms, in conventional classrooms. You have to go the extra mile to teach yourself how to be financially literate in today's world. You have to learn how to budget. If you're living in a Western society like the UK, you have to understand how the credit system works. And you also have to understand the basics of investing. Looking back now, there are things I wish I started sooner in my 20s, and if I had done that by now, I probably might have been a millionaire, because then you had time, you had some spare money that you could have kept away or invested in something great, and 10 years later that could have accumulated into so much more. And it's not about being rich, it's about being secure, because having financial peace of mind allows you to focus on your goals without constant stress. The earlier you start building small habits, the earlier you start learning how to save money, the earlier you start learning how to invest in things that are worthwhile, the better your future options become. Number 7 would be, not every opinion needs your reaction. Yeah, you don't need to, address every argument or attend any argument you're invited to. Learning when to respond and when to let go of is part of emotional maturity. Learning how to protect your peace is very important, because not everything is worth your energy, and sometimes silence can be far more powerful than trying to prove a point. And number 8 would be taking more risk. I wish I took a lot more risk in my 20s, because it's easier to take risk then than later. 20s, I feel like, is the time to try out things, to start a business, to move to a city, to change your career choice, for example, because the older you get, the more responsibility you carry and the harder taking those risks becomes. Sometimes you don't need to know the outcome, you just need to be willing to find out and venture out into a lot more out of your comfort zone and explore more. Number 9 would be, healing is not linear. Give it time. You would have good days, you would have setbacks, you have breakthroughs, and you would have relapses. Healing isn't a straight line. Sometimes you feel like you're back where you started, but you're not. Progress isn't always visible, or it's happening. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small wins, and give yourself grace. At 10 would be, everything is temporary. Everything is temporary, the good and the bad. Sometimes we might be going through some difficulties and it just feels like that is going to be permanent. That reality is that whatever you're passing through is how your life is going to be. But nah, everything is temporary and it will pass. That stressful situation will pass, so will the highs, the joys, the easy friendships. All of them will pass. Life comes in phases. There are times you have highs, there are times you would have lows. Everything at the end of the day is temporary, and knowing this helps you ride your lows without despair and appreciate your highs without clinging. Nothing stays forever, unfortunately, but that's not a bad thing. Number 11 will be, confidence comes from doing and not waiting. Yes, building confidence comes from doing and not waiting. Confidence doesn't just appear magically one day. It's built through action, through showing up even when you're unsure. Stop waiting to feel ready. You just have to start even when you're not certain of what you're diving into. While you're still figuring it out, it's okay to start. That's how you build confidence, not from perfection, but from building momentum. Number 12 would be, comparison will steal your joy. Comparison will rob you of your joy. In this age of social media, it's easy to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. We always like to show the best part of our life online. And sometimes you can get trapped into that fake reality, thinking whatever you're seeing on social media is the person's actual reality, and then you're comparing that with your behind the scenes. But comparison will only breed insecurity. So focus on your lane, focus on your journey. Your timing is not late, it's just different. Everybody is in their own unique path. You're not in a race, and you are in your own unique path. Someone would always tell me that one of my bosses would always say that life is a marathon and not a sprint. We all have our individual race, but we're not trying to outrun the other person. Everybody's just doing what they can in their own ways. So just stay focused on your own unique path. Number 13 of things I wish I knew sooner is that boundaries are necessary and not selfish. Saying no is not rude. Setting limits does not mean you're mean. Boundaries protect your energy, your peace, and your self-respect. If someone gets upset at you because you're trying to set boundaries, that's a reflection of them and not you. The right people will understand and appreciate your boundaries, because your boundaries are meant to protect you. Your boundaries are meant to protect your peace and protect your energy and to give you self-respect. Yeah, saying no certainly is not rude. There are ways to say no in a polite way, but saying no overall is not rude. Number 14 of things I wish I knew sooner is that it is okay to change your mind. Actually, it is okay to change your mind often, because we are learners in this world. We are constantly learning, and you're allowed to evolve. Sometimes you can outgrow certain dreams you once had or beliefs you once held dearly, and that doesn't mean you're flaky. It means you're growing. You're letting yourself change without guilt, and life is too short to live a version of yourself that no longer fits. The world is constantly evolving, and you need to evolve with it. You need to be open-minded to certain things and certain viewpoints, and learn how to see things from a different perspective from what you're used to. Number 15 of things I wish I knew sooner is that the people who love you will respect your growth. Not everyone will obviously understand your changes, but that's okay. But the right people will support you through your evolution. True friends will cheer you on, even when your growth challenges their comfort zone. Don't shrink yourself to stay palatable to those who fear change. Yeah, those who love you will support you through your evolution. And number 16 is something I wish I knew sooner. You don't need to monetize every hobby. Not everything you love has to turn into a side hustle. Some things are worth doing because they make you happy. Let your creativity breathe. And this is one mistake I made in my 20s, because there are certain things that I was passionate about, but I felt because I couldn't turn them into money, I just let them fade away. Things like writing, for example. Those are things I enjoyed, but at some point I think I started putting pressure into being able to write, to be able to make money out of it. But no, not every hobby has to turn into a hustle. It's just letting your creative side thrive. Enjoy things without the pressure of turning them into profit. Joy has value, even if it doesn't pay in monetary terms. Joy has value. So as long as you're getting joy from your hobby, that's good. Don't put the pressure of trying to turn them into money or trying to make money out of it. Number 17 is red flags don't turn to green with time. Yeah, if you notice something is off, especially in a relationship, it probably is. Do not excuse bad behavior hoping that it will change with time. Love is not supposed to be confusing. Love is not supposed to be painful or manipulative. You need to pay attention to patterns and not promises. Sometimes you have to trust your gut, and because it's wiser than you think. If you're quite an intuitive person, you have to trust your instinct. And if something feels off, then it's most likely is certainly off. So if you notice something early, if you know it is not something you're going to be able to live with, don't stay hoping that it will change. It's going to stay the same way or even get worse. Number 18 is you won't regret being kind, but you might regret staying silent. Kindness costs nothing and it's remembered for years. So speak up when it matters, say the hard truths with love, support people when they need it the most. Silence in moments of injustice or hurt can haunt you, but compassion never will. Number 19 is you are allowed to outgrow people, you are allowed to outgrow places or even versions of yourself. Growth can sometimes feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty for moving on from friendships, from jobs, or ways of thinking that no longer serve you, but that's normal. However, staying small to keep others comfortable will never fulfill you. You're meant to evolve, and please do not apologize for it. Number 20 of things I wish I knew sooner sooner is you're not supposed to have it all together. You're supposed to keep learning. 20s, I feel like it's time for trial and error. You'll mess up, you'll make mistakes, but you will learn. You'll repeat things, but that's part of the process. Don't rush to be a complete version of yourself. Life is a lifelong classroom, and the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. If you've made it so far, thank you for spending time with me. Your 20s can be a wild and tough ride, but you're doing better than you think. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming your future self, and that is what your 20s is really about. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, drop a comment and share your experiences, if possible, of things you wish you knew sooner. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Until then, keep growing and give yourself grace. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.